Hello, we're live. Didn't even realize it was mute. We'll wait a little bit for people to show up, and then we will start. Let me just tweet that we're live. I'm going to share on Instagram that we're live while I wait for people. Yeah, I'm just waiting for people to show up. Okay. I'll just wait. Yeah, wait a little bit. But how is everyone doing in chat? I'm doing well. I finished the book yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. I'm giving it about a 4.5. No, not 4.5. It's almost a 4-star. Really good book. Really enjoyed it. It's probably a 4-star read. It was really cute. I like the cultural aspects of it. Hello, how are you doing? Did you finish the book? I know you were still reading it last night. But Hindu, how you doing? I'm just gonna wait for a second because I'm waiting for comments to come in. But yeah, so welcome to the Enchanted Forest Book Club. We are not finished with the book, but I know the ending. So, okay, what did you think? Because I know you weren't really enjoying it that much. I liked it, and I liked the ending a lot. I thought it was a really good way to wrap up a standalone, because standalones aren't my favorite, but I ended up enjoying it. You wanted the NF since you already know the ending now. Okay. So you didn't like it. Why didn't you like it? Like, what parts did you not like about it? Let me just get the synopsis pulled up, and then I'm just moving something around. While I wait for comments to come in. But I'll go back to what I was saying about it. I liked it. I liked the culture aspect. I enjoyed the ending, and then I looked up some of the myth and stuff. I did a little bit of history of what the story was based on, and I liked that it was played actually into the book, the original myth was played into it. And I don't know how far you got if you got to the part where the myth was added in, but I liked it. I liked our main love interest. I thought he was really good, and I liked her banter she had with him, that Mina had with him. It's a 3-star for me. I wasn't feeling the story structure, and there are too many stories, memories in such a short book. Plus, I didn't really connect with any of the characters. I love the culture, but I get that. I could see that everything else was lacking for me. Okay, I could see why, because I tend to like that kind of structure with the stories. I like it when storytelling plays a big part in a book like that, so I enjoyed it, but I could see where that could cause problems because it can kind of be seen as taken away from the plot. And this was the author's debut novel, too. Which, I mean, I don't know if that means anything. But I thought I don't know. I was interested in like some of the characters. I thought the world was really cool, and like learning about the like different gods, spirits, and like monsters or like creatures they were called. I thought that was really cool. Like the guy that was the serpent. I thought his storyline was really interesting. It's all right. And if you want to join in for your opinion, if anybody wants to jump in, if you're in Princess's Discord, I did put a link in the chat in the Discord if you want to jump in. If anybody wants to jump in to give their opinions, so I'm not alone. I'd love that. You don't have to, but also if you want to. Since it's a debut and a YA, it's going to be these 3 stars. Otherwise, I'd probably be a 2-star for me. Interesting. Yeah, I could see that. Like, since it is YA, maybe she was trying to play it like safer with like going too much into stuff. I don't know. And then, what did you think of it, Alicia? What was your rating? Because I gave it almost a 4-star. It's like 4-star. Like it bounces off of a 3.95 and a 4-star rating for me. Such a cool premise, but it really was the execution for me. Okay. And then you gave it 4 stars. Okay. I don't know. I liked it. Like I don't know how many times I'm gonna say I liked it. I liked the like I said the storytelling aspect of it. I like that one. That's a big part in the book. I loved the world was really interesting in the spirit world. I love spirit worlds and stuff like that. And I love folklore, so I don't know if all that was enough for me to like it a lot. But I didn't have any problems with the characters. And then if you guys know if you guys have any background with Korean folklore, what did you think it did? It was a little info dumpy, especially in the beginning, but I feel like it could have been done better. But I do see why you're saying it was like info dumpy, like especially the beginning because it took a minute to get into because it felt like you were thrown into it real quick, and I'm like, dang, we're already here. Because when she jumps into the sea, like the second chapter, and then it's just like not a roller coaster, but it's just like going there. So it takes a minute to get a hold of what's going on for me. You might like The Reader by Tracy C. Then it surrounds books and storytelling. I think. Okay, let me write that down. You coming in with another rec? Where's my little notepad? Let me write that down. So The Reader. By Tracy C. Okay, I wrote that down and saved it. But yeah, I don't know. I was really shoot. what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Always all over the place. But I did a little bit of research into the folklore that it was based on, and I do not know how to pronounce it, so I'm just gonna pull up the Wikipedia page. It's in the socials, so it's right above Jen's thing in the socials in the Discord. Sorry, I know I'm awkward myself. I'm like, I need someone to bounce off of sometimes. But let me pull up the original myth that I found on Wikipedia, so we don't know how accurate it is, but share screen. This is supposed to be the original myth, the tale of Shimchong. I do not want to mispronounce that. But it is basically, if you got to the part in the book where Mina tells the Dragon Prince the story about the Dragon Bride, where she goes because of her blind father, that is pretty much the original myth. And so I thought that was a really interesting way of putting the original myth that inspired the book into the book to have it be a part of it. So I thought that was really interesting and a nice way of doing that. Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Huh?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
StreamYard always messes with my audio. So.
Okay. It's all right. So what did you think? Like, what are your thoughts?
I really liked it. I don't know what you thought about it. I thought it was too short for what it was trying to do.
I could see that. I thought it was I enjoyed it, and I thought it wrapped up pretty good, like the ending wise. For it to be as short as it was, I do feel like it was kind of a roller coaster, and we're like thrown in right away.
Yeah, and you're trying to figure out like the first couple chapters. I feel like you were getting all the information, and you're like, where is this important? And then all the puzzle pieces came in later.
Yeah, and so I didn't start actually really, really liking it until the ending.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm like, it's a 4-star, but is it like it's like
I was
on
at
that
a 3.5 until the ending.
Yeah, for me it's like a 3.95, like almost a 4-star for me. You might have to go because you skimmed that chapter low. But like I was saying earlier, I did do a little research into the like myth based on it that the story was based on, and it's very much the story that she tells the Dragon Emperor.
Okay.
When about the Dragon's Bride that goes in because of her blind father, and basically that's the original story. So
That's
thought that
one
was
thing
a
I love
really
about
nice
the retellings is like it makes you want to do the research about the original.
Yeah, and I also thought that was a nice way to put it back into the story.
Yeah, it doesn't feel clunky. It's just in there.
And then did you have favorite characters or characters that stood out to you that you really liked?
I liked I might say his name wrong, but Shin, her love interest, so to speak.
It's like Shun, I think. 'Cause I listened to the audio.
Shun. I always mispronounce Korean names. I feel like because I went to school with a lot of people from Korea, so I always mispronounce, and I feel awful doing that.
Too much for how short it was. I wanted to go a little slower with transitions between scenes so I can get settled in. I could see why you would say that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Never mind.
It's just, I really like it. Like, it made me want to definitely read something else from her. I like her writing style.
I would like to see what she does because I will give her like a little leeway since this is her debut.
Yeah.
So I'm always a little more lenient with debuts, but I do see exactly where you're coming from, Daja, where it did go by real quick, and so I wonder what it would look like if she got more of a page count.
Yeah. I feel like that's where the cutoff was. Because like I liked her writing style, but I feel like it was she had a certain page count that she had to meet, and she shoved.
Yeah, or maybe a page count she couldn't overgo. Maybe I
Right.
felt like
I feel like it was a 10-pound story in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah, because
there
like
wasn't
even
enough room for everything.
Like the stuff with some of the side characters, like Kieran and the other, I forget the other one's name. The serpent one,
the guy that always wore the mask. I can't think of their name either.
But like their relationship, like they kind of, you get a vibe that they're into each other or not.
Yeah.
But like I feel like that could have been delved into a lot more.
That's why I was surprised it was a standalone. I was like,
Yeah,
there going to be more in this, or because I'm wondering if because I know they do this with a lot of people that are debuts, if it's supposed to be a series, but they're not sure if they're going to pick it up. So
maybe
they made it a standalone because they're not sure if they're going to pick up book two. Because I've heard
maybe
that a lot in publishing.
if maybe we'll get a companion novel.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, like I said, I do see the criticism on it speed wise. But I really like the character of the goddess of moon and memory.
Yeah.
I thought she was really cool, and like the fact that like she's kind of our antagonist,
Yeah.
but she's not even really that much of an antagonist.
And the other goddess that really interested me because she was so opposite of what she thought she should be is the goddess of mother. I think it's the goddess of mothers.
It was like the goddess of women and children.
Yes, that's it. And I was like, that kind of makes sense. Like it's what people would assume she is, and she's not that at all.
Yeah, and I like that because they brought into the topic of like a discussion that could be said as like the relationship between humans and gods.
Yeah.
That I thought could have also, like, if this was a much larger book and maybe if this is more of an adult book, it could have been discussed more of the relationship between human and gods, like what is
Yeah.
owed. I thought could be really interesting.
I feel like this could have been like, I don't know. I feel like this one could be like a bridge book from someone that's just strictly going reading YA. Maybe this could be like a bridge book into getting into more adult.
Yeah. The Imogen are interesting. Yeah, they were. Those were the serpents, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
They
If I'm
that
remembering
culture
correctly.
or whatever, like the people were really interesting, of like being in battles and stuff. I thought were cool.
And it's like I really like the book. I just wanted more because I was so interested in it.
Yeah,
Like I was
I'm
like, give me more.
curious to see of what she does next. But I will say, my problem with standalones are the endings, and I
Yeah,
always feel like, but I feel like this ending was done really well. I feel like
she
I
stuck the landing.
I was satisfied with the ending. I did
Yeah,
like the idea. I was a sad idea too of her going at the end to the beach basically and waiting every day for almost a year,
yeah.
and then for
It
him
was.
to show up. I thought that was really interesting at the end. What did you think of our love? Let's go to the our like main love connection, our main pairing. What did you think of their connection?
I liked it because they were like antagonists to love.
Yeah,
It wasn't like a full hate to love, but it was like antagonists.
the I like the banter they had.
Yeah, that's I love like I don't like when it's someone that you like that does something that you can honestly hate, but I love like the bitchy banter back and forth.
You like a rivals to lovers more than
Yep.
enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that, and I like that too, and it's done good. And I thought it was done pretty well here, and I think it kind of made it didn't feel forced.
No, it made sense.
Yeah, and then
Completely.
What did you think of the red string of fate? Like that idea into it.
That was interesting. I've never heard of that concept. I thought it was interesting that some of the creatures could see it and some of them couldn't. That was the part that I was like, what does that mean? That the fox, what was it, the fox character
Yeah, the
tried to
fox
bite it and it
queen
was
or
not
whatever.
breaking
Yeah, I
when
thought
they
it was
went into the
interesting.
woods?
Yeah, I've seen some like I've read or seen stuff with like the red string of fate kind of played into it, and so I thought this was a cool way of doing it, and the way that it like, I really like the idea of just because you guys are like fated to be together, it doesn't mean it's permanent,
Yeah,
and even the idea of like choice and change is possible.
because I don't. I'm a contradiction in terms. I don't like fated mates. Just I don't think it's ever been done well. Like it's either the one person knows about you and the other person doesn't, and then you're forcing someone that like I don't even know you and you're telling me we're supposed to be married.
Yeah, I don't like fated mate. I mean, I like it, but I enjoy much more in where they're like some reason they're drawn to each other.
Yeah, and they
Or
don't know
maybe
why.
celestial or
Exactly.
mystical region. Like it
Yeah,
could be mates, but like they're just drawn to each other.
yeah. I don't like when it's stories like the guy comes up to the girl or vice versa. We're supposed to be mates. We'll be mated for life, and the girl looks at him like, I don't even know you. Who the hell are you?
Yeah, that's like,
Like,
that's lazy on it. Thank
really?
you for like married to fate.
But then, like, if it happened in the real world, someone would be like beating someone up.
Yeah.
Like, if a
There was a
man
time.
walked up to me and said, "I'm supposed to be your husband," I'd be like, "I don't even know you. Get the hell out of
Who
my
are you?
face." Like,
There was a time he wanted her to hold him to sleep, but I was like, why? I don't remember that part. I think I do, but I don't. I was listening to this at like times 2
I had
speed.
to. Maybe it's because it's so short. I had to rewind the audiobook a couple times because I
I
feel
did
like I was
too.
missing stuff.
I did too, but that's also because I was listening to it at work and people were talking to me, and I'm like, shut up. I'm trying to. So
Oh,
maybe I might have missed that scene, but yeah.
and I feel like I had it at a lower speed than I would normally have it because I wanted to get all the names, and I still did it. They didn't stick.
Yeah. There was some twists in the book, like plot twists or stuff. Of all the twists, did you see any coming, or were you shocked by any?
I I was kind of maybe that's because of her writing. I didn't see any of them technically coming, and usually I'm the type of person that can call it within the first 10 pages.
I
I
saw.
was
Oh,
into it.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. No, you're
I
fine.
I saw the grandma reveal.
Yeah, that
I
one
kind
made
of
sense.
saw that coming. I didn't see the whole, all three of them being like the kid being her grandpa. I did not see that coming,
Yeah,
but I did. I figured that the mask was her like great grandma,
yeah, that made sense.
but I did not see the big twist coming.
Yeah, the baby
Of
had me thrown, like the
yeah, the
baby on
baby.
the
I
bed.
I think because like it got mentioned like in the beginning that she lost her they lost the baby, and then it didn't get brought up again till
I
right
can't
around.
remember if it was a niece or a nephew. I think it was a nephew.
It was a niece. It
Was
was a
it?
daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't even realize she had an elder brother until like she talked about the fact that they lost the kid. I was like, wait, I thought she only had one brother.
Yeah, I got that. I was like combining all of them with the one brother that she was really close to,
Yeah.
like
So
unintentionally, but that was happening in my head.
I will say, I feel like one of the issues of it, I feel like could have been the beginning. I feel like she wanted that really strong, like jumping into the sea beginning part of it to be like the start off. But I
Yeah,
feel
it
like we
started with a
should have,
bang, definitely.
it did, but I feel like we should have gotten maybe a chapter of family life.
Yeah,
Because like I said, it was very easy to miss out on the fact that like her big brother and he had a wife, and
yeah.
then she had like that there was another sibling.
I thought it was interesting. This is going like more towards the beginning, where like she started recognizing people in like the woman that was the bride like a couple years before she
Yeah.
recognized and stuff like that. I thought that was interesting.
I knew the grandma reveal and the baby I guessed. I was thinking they were all her family, so yeah, I confirmed it. Yeah. Her I really did like the reunion of her grandpa because like you get some of the stories of her grandpa like being there for
Yeah.
her. And I thought it was
And
really
having a really close relationship with my grandfather when he was alive, I thought that was really sweet.
yeah, and someone I liked her relationship with her grandma. I thought that was
Yeah.
really cool. Like her as someone who comes from a line of like I said, come from a line of bad bitches. I
Yeah.
I like that. Um
And I
I
know it's a
really
completely separate culture, but it reminded me a lot of like the strong women and like I'm Italian, so I grew up in a very like headstrong woman area. So like even though it's completely two separate cultures,
cultures. But I think that's the thing, like
you still see the
matriarch.
like the through line of it all.
I think though that matriarchs, like strong matriarchs, are like in every culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
But
and
I eat that stuff up like catnip. Give me a good
me too.
strong like older like a mother grandmother character. I'm in.
Yeah, me too. I understand that completely. I did like the weird, not weird, but the interesting thing of like when a human dies, they go to the spirit world, and they could choose their age.
That I thought was interesting.
And I
You know what
really,
that reminded me of? Have you read the Inheritance Trilogy from N.K. Jemisin?
I have not touched on any of Kim Josin because I am scared that I will be dumb.
Oh no, start with the Inheritance Trilogy. It's the easiest way to start in with her work. Um, but it's kind of this. Not saying that she took from her, but like it's the same thing. Like each god could choose their age or how they were perceived by a person who saw them.
Yeah, I don't think that's just a common trope.
Yeah.
But okay, I'll check that. I do plan to get into N.K. Jemisin. She is just like very like intimidating.
Believe me, I was in your boat last year, and I started with the Inheritance Trilogy, and I think that was the best place to start. Like, I think if I started with her other two works that I've read, I would have said, "Author's not for me." I definitely recommend, and it helps that it comes in like a huge bind up of all 4 books. It's 3 books and a novella.
Okay, I'll have to check that out. But to the question, what age would you be?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would probably be the age I am now, honestly, because I feel like if you go any younger, nobody's gonna like
Take you seriously?
Yeah, I'm 32 now.
Yeah, I was thinking like I'm like still like mid-20s, 24. I would want to be like late 20s, early 30s. Like I
Yeah,
feel like you're still healthy enough. You're still like you can do. You're not old, super like up there in age yet, but you're not too young.
and people actually like. I feel like people didn't start taking me seriously until I was like 25, 26.
Oh, I did like the Pebble scene. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I liked the wish that the wishes were on written on the paper boats. I thought that was really cool.
Where are you at? Okay. Sorry, my dog just bothered me.
No, you're fine.
Maybe 20. Okay. Hey, princess, what did you think of the book? It's all right. What did you think? What were your thoughts on it? We have us. We're like 4 stars. Deja DNF'd it. Well, after she found out the ending, and gave it a 3-star. So, what is your rating? But I did like the pebble scene, and also that brings talking about the pebble. I like the concept of the soul being something like. Let's see. Loved it. 4 stars, and also
Yeah,
Princess.
her and I were talking about it the other day. We were
Like
doing.
I said,
I was reading it on her reading sprints
oh, okay. I was
on
kind of
Sunday.
out, so I might have missed that. If you want to join the stream, the link is in your Discord. To join in. Beginning was hard to get through, but it was good. Yeah, no, I thought so too. I think the ending upped it to a 4-star. The beginning was very like we said a little bit earlier, very kind of pushed you into the sea, kind of like
It threw you in the middle, and you kind of had to figure it out.
yeah, you
Like
had to sink or
literally, it was
swim,
like,
kind of.
here you are, figure it out.
Yeah, you had to sink or swim.
Yeah, literally.
Pun intended. But like to the
I
soul
thought it was
idea.
interesting that the dragon was sleeping, like he wasn't really awake, and nobody knew about it in the above water ground or the above water world.
Yeah, that was interesting. It made sense. I did like the big reveal of why. I thought that was a really cool way to do it too. I mean, I get you have to know about the culture and mythology. The twist at the ending, though, yeah, I really did like the twist.
Me too.
The switch, yes, I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh shit.
I really like, considering how short the book and the chapters were, that I felt like all the characters were fleshed out, considering that it was less than 330 pages.
Yeah, and I felt like the fact that we didn't get a lot of characters too.
Yeah, that helped.
Like we kind of had a big cast, but not really.
I feel like within the first 5 chapters, you kind of figured out who was gonna stick around.
Yeah. It was good. But yeah, no, like I was saying about the souls, I like that what they said, the moon was the soul of the goddess of the moon or whatever.
Yeah.
Or the dragon was the soul, and that her soul was a magpie because she's a storyteller, and her voice is so important to her, so she's like a bird. I
love that it was a magpie. Like,
yeah,
I have always loved birds, so I was like, the fact that it was specifically a magpie that had her voice, and I was like, I'm in. Right when that happened, I was like, I'm completely in.
It did make me think of, and this is not me saying she stole it, it just gave a very Golden Compass vibe.
I thought the same thing. Okay, it wasn't just me.
Okay, because like animals and souls, and that's not like she didn't steal it. Like it's a cool
Yeah,
idea and
it's in
done
a
way
lot of
differently.
cultures.
And done way differently. So I
Yep.
thought that was really interesting. Of your soul can be outside your body,
Yeah,
and the way
and
they did it.
survive.
Too. Yeah, and that his was the dragon. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what like your soul creature would be.
Yeah, what do you think if you had to give a vibe of what your like soul creature would be? What do you think it'd be?
I'll have to think on that one.
I've always said mine would probably be like any like animal like thing. If I was an animal or anything, a very big, fat, fluffy cat.
Orange one or white one?
I think like because I was talking about my brother too. I was like, I'd probably be like, have you ever watched Cinderella 2?
The
The
cartoon?
animated movie? Yeah, the
Yes.
animated movie, the second one.
Yep.
You know that
Mm-hmm.
big, fat, white, fluffy cat with like the pink
Yeah.
ribbon? That would be
Yeah.
me.
I would
Panther. Okay,
probably
princess being a
be.
panther.
That's fitting. That's very fitting for you.
I see it too.
Um. Ooh. I'd probably be a bird.
I could see that.
It's kind of fitting because that's my family nickname too.
Oh. Oh, that's why it's that in the Discord, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I know I'm not making that up. But yeah, I thought the
My uncle said
magic.
I looked like a plucked bird when I was born, so it stuck.
Okay.
Don't ask me why, but it stuck.
Hey, nicknames, family nicknames.
Like it's to the point where everybody in my family doesn't have me as my name in their phone. It's
I get that. I
bird.
mean, Taco's not my government name, and
Yeah.
so um I liked the family like even though we didn't get the family dynamic, like we didn't see the family a lot. I like the vibe that we got. We very much got the little bit we got. We knew the family cared about her, and I thought she wrote that really
Yeah,
well.
and I like that because it didn't take up 100 pages, but you got the same feeling of they would all die for each other if necessary.
Yeah, like even the scene where nothing comes out of it, but where she like gets ready for her wedding,
Yeah,
and the grandma and the sister-in-law like make the dress for her. I thought that was really nice and sweet. And like even the family like automatically believing. I mean, she showed up out of nowhere, so like
yeah, and I like that it was a really close relationship with a brother and a sister because you don't see that much.
yeah. Usually you get like bratty sister or mean older brother or
Yeah,
vice versa, and that they loved each other. You could tell that, and I thought
and
she
what
wrote
was the
that
name?
really
What
well.
was the name of the girl that she met before she ended up going to the castle? And she was like, I always got annoyed by you, but he always walked a little bit slower, so you never fell behind. The
Oh,
friend.
the Death God's
Oh, what was
bride.
her name?
God dang it! I know who you're talking. Shinny? No, that's the guy. Shit. It started with an
She
S.
she hugged her and didn't realize it was her at first.
Yeah.
She was the security guard or something.
Oh, her. I thought you were talking about the bride of the Death God.
Not her. She was the guard for one of the gods. I can't remember which one.
Why would the grandma wear a mask? Was there a reason for that, or was it a plot device? It was. She said that the ancestors can't get involved or know that she's helping without like Mina would have to go to them to ask for help.
Yeah,
To and so the grandma said, if you saw my face, since we look so similar,
you would
you would
know.
know. And so that's why she had to wait for her to, because in the book you probably didn't get to it. She goes to the house of the ancestor spirits, basically spirit house, I think it was called.
Yeah,
And they are like, well, who's your family? And she goes, and then her ancestors can kind of speak to her through there. And that's the only way she could have like told her who she was.
which I like. I wanted to dive more into that because that was so interesting to me. Like
Yeah,
the
and
ancestor part.
I love ancestors, like help like generational family stuff. So
Me too.
I like that, and I thought it was really cool to show. And I also like loved all the houses that we
Yeah,
got,
it was so interesting.
because we
But
had
they were
like
all like fleshed out. It wasn't you didn't feel like one was not thought of as much as another one.
Yeah.
They all
So
made sense.
there was Crane House, which was the scholars.
That one I
Tiger
liked because I love like scholars and stuff like that.
Tiger House was the like war generals,
Was it Serpent or Snake House? I can't remember. Was it Serpent House?
which for the generals or whatever.
Yeah, was it the
No, that's
Serpent?
Tiger.
Okay. I was
Uh,
mixing those two up while I
yeah,
was reading the
because the
book.
serpents were like a whole like separate species,
Yeah,
but they
okay.
were a war of people. And then you had Fox House was with the like priestesses. Star House. I don't remember what Star House was. I know it was something, but I don't remember what it was.
What was the house that the goddess of the children was in?
That's the Moon House because
That was the moon house. Okay.
because they said the moon was for women.
That makes sense.
And also, again, I love the goddess of moon and memory. I thought she was a really cool antagonist.
I love I want like little novellas about each one of the gods. Like I would be so into that.
I'm I really liked it, and I like the background that we get, the flashback of her being lost in the woods and how she knew that no moon is memory. Well, yeah, no, I know the goddess of moon and memory was the goddess, but Moon House they said where was the one. Maybe it was stars, but I thought they said we were going to Moon House. I could be missing it up.
But she wasn't allowed to leave without being escorted. I remember that.
Yeah,
that was the first house she went to.
I forgot what the child one was. Yeah, no, because I know the goddess of women and children was the one that wanted the money to help.
Yeah, and he just pulls out like a string of
Yeah, and I just
whatever
imagine
their currency was.
For that scene, I just imagined. I didn't even like imagine her as a person. She was just like this old humped up like hag, kind of like that, just like grabbed the money for.
Yeah, I just thought of her like the wicked the witch in when she's I can't talk today. I apologize. When the evil stepmother is the old hag in Snow White. That's all I thought of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to reread to get the houses down. Because the moon goddess changed the other one. Yeah. No, she did change. I like the revelation that the moon goddess helped her in the past. Like the moonlight led her out of the forest. I thought that was really interesting and that she really did care about children.
Yeah. I'm just a sucker for anything about mythology and gods. I'm a sucker.
Me too. I will
read anything.
Mythology. I love pantheons. I love like lunar goddesses.
It's not just Greek and Roman, and we're getting like Korean, Japanese. I love that we're getting different mythologies now.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah, no, I really liked it. I like the death god that we got. He was really cool. I love death gods.
Me too.
And he was really cool. I really liked I would have loved to see that scene play out that we got mentioned of Shun versus the death god over the bride's soul. I thought that would love to see
I would love to see art for it.
Oh yes.
Like someone draw it all nice.
I struggled a lot with the death of the child that was mentioned a lot. I get that, and that's completely understandable, and I actually could be a trigger warning.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
I feel like should get brought up in it. Yeah, I could see why that would trigger.
It's brought up a couple times.
It is, and I don't know if it helps that like she's
more than it was necessary. I think personally.
Yeah. Especially like I feel like that could be or should be a trigger warning for the book.
Absolutely.
I think luckily for them, I feel like it didn't affect me as much. I mean, to be fair, I don't have everybody's situation with that, but the fact we didn't see the death.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that should be a trigger warning
especially when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
And baby, like especially them.
Yeah, no, the niece, yeah.
Yeah.
That it should be a trigger warning for it. And I completely understand on that.
But it wouldn't. I don't think if they put a content warning for it, it wouldn't have spoiled anything.
Yeah, it wouldn't have.
Because that's the biggest gripe that people have about content or trigger warnings, and I get really aggravated. I'm like, no, if I have an issue, I want to know straight up if it's going to be in a book. Because
And
if
like,
I know to expect it, or I know not to read it.
if you're a person that doesn't get triggered, don't read the trigger warning. Then, like, you don't get like it's not
Right. If you don't have an issue, that's fine.
like
But
just
if people do,
it's not like you're gonna like a trigger warning is not gonna open the book up and it like flashing lights like tell
yeah,
you like. So I don't know. But I do feel like like that could be a whole thing for trigger warnings in it.
absolutely. Like I appreciated. I think it's Blood Scion that had the,
Blood Scion had a trigger warning, yeah.
and so did Skin of the Sea.
I think so that did too.
Yeah, I was like, but it didn't. It didn't harm the story about
It
you
didn't.
knowing about. You just knew what was going to
Shit.
happen.
I read
About
the blood I mean I read Blood Scion and shit, I read the trigger warning and even I was still like, damn.
Oh yeah, when you
Like,
get into a story, I feel like it affects you more when you're.
yeah. And that's just a whole debate not debate, but like a whole thing we could have on trigger warnings on it and
So
stuff like that.
it aggravates me, like the one, not the need of them, but I put it was for a horror book that I reviewed, and the author was fine with it. Like he shared my review, he was fine with it. It was a comment that someone put underneath of his sharing my review that said, "Spoilers, you shouldn't have written this." I said, "Sir, it is a child essay situation. Like
That's like whenever I
it's
review a book.
necessary."
Like whenever I review a book and I know like trigger warnings are in it, like I don't do physical, written down reviews 'cause I suck at them.
Right.
But like I think I did. I don't. I think I did. I hope I did. But in my one of the books I read this year, Wicked Magic or whatever. I can't remember the author's name, but it had a lot of like parental like neglect, not neglect, but abuse, like verbal
Mm-hmm.
abuse, and it had like self-harm. And I'm like, look up the trigger warnings for this book before
Yeah,
you read
you don't
this.
even have to say. You could just say like, There's a lot of trigger warnings in this book, so please, if you have any issues, please look into that.
It was just hard with the goddess not caring. I agree, but
I'm with you 100% on that one.
I do think it was hard, but I do like not. I don't like it. I thought it was interesting thing of going back to what we were saying earlier with like what do gods owe people and the relationship with humans and gods, because that kind of brought into it, not specifically her not caring about the child's death, but just the like concept of like what you think a goddess of mothers and childhood should be.
You would think it would be like a
What
Disney
we
princess.
or not even a Disney princess, but like what the goddess of moon and memory was.
Right,
And I
exactly.
and I do think the fact that she changed and she became the goddess of children and stuff was like, I thought that was a good plot for it.
Yeah.
But I do agree that it was hard to read.
That's why I haven't written my review yet, because I wanted to make sure that that was in there.
Okay. I like the other goddess who cared took over. Also, like I imagine her because she was such like a badass. I imagine her just like killing fucked up, like just completely taking out that other goddess. Like
That would be a fun fight.
not even a fight. I don't even imagine a fight. I imagined her like busting down the door and just like I'm in charge now and like shooting her with arrows or something like that. Also, like she was very cool. I really liked her, like the badass entrance she had on the horse, and like
You
with the
gotta love
bow
a
and
good
arrow.
entrance.
She knew how to make an entrance.
Yeah.
And an exit, because when she said I'm also the goddess of memory and then just leaves, she knew how to make an exit.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Huge mic drop. For sure.
And I very much like that. She's like, I hate that I care for things now because people love me. What else was there that I liked?
I like that they connected all of it to animals. I know that's not specific to any mythology, but I like when they connect certain traits to animals when it comes to mythology.
Like, for example,
Like the snake, the serpent, the and then it was the house, the fox house. Sorry, I can't talk today.
It's all right.
And like, and then but it plays into that before you knew about the fox house, because you had that scene where they're in the woods with the fox trying to break the ribbon and
Yeah.
can't break it.
Yeah, I like that the animal aspect played into it
Yeah.
too. I like when like gods and stuff have like an animal's like companion, or not even companion, but like this animal is sacred kind of to this god or whatever.
What did they call it in the Golden Compass?
It
They
was
called
their
it.
demons.
Yes, that's it. Yep.
Never read the book, but I loved the movie when I was a kid.
I got the books for my birthday, so I'm going to read them. I read the first one. I had to read that in school, but I never went past the first
Let me get something real quick. Pull something up real quick. What is another question I can ask? I
can't
didn't
wait
ask
to
you, Princess, but you're in chat. Who was your favorite character, or if you had a favorite part, and also you could answer that too. What was your favorite part?
favorite part. I really liked the conversation with the grandfather. When
Oh, the
the
flashback.
Yeah, it really like it hit me a lot harder. Like not in a bad way, but it was like I miss that. Like
Yeah, I get
I
that.
miss having those type of conversations with my grandfather.
Okay, sorry. It was just setting something up.
I
A
love
favorite
when it's parental relationships that aren't the mother
toxic.
and the father. When it's like grandparents or like aunts and uncles, stuff like that. I love like parental relationships that aren't the titular mother and father. Not saying that they're not important, but I think it's really nice when they flesh out like a great relationship with the grandfather or the grandmother or both, you know?
Yeah, and I really did like the fact that the grandpa decided to be a kid so that he could help the baby. I thought that was really
Yeah, I thought
sweet.
that was interesting. Yeah.
Favorite character was the male main character. Okay, he was really cool.
I could never say his name though. Like
I need art.
I kept on rehearing it and I'm like, I still can't say it correctly.
I said it earlier and I completely am blanking right now.
Shin?
I want art of the scene, the flashback we get of him in his full like God of the Sea form, where she described
Yes!
the wings and the lightning. I'm like, I need to see that.
Like Poseidon in a way.
Also, the dragon was also awesome. And the tie with Kieran, the river god. I don't know if anybody here is a Pokemon fan or how much you guys know about Pokemon.
From like I was a Pokemon fan from the beginning, so like
Okay, so
we're
you might
talking
know
like
who I'm
fifth
talking about.
grade.
That's early Pokemon. But when he turned into the to save the guy in this lake when Kieran,
Yeah.
I imagined him turning into Suicune.
Okay. I never thought of that, but that works.
Well, because that's kind of also what Suicune
It
is based
works.
on, that like mythical figure.
Or
So
Squirtle.
yeah, huh?
Or Squirtle. The
But I
turtle.
just imagined like majestic, like four-legged, like almost horse-like beast. I was like, it's Suicune.
No, you're bringing me back because I haven't thought about Pokemon in forever.
I love Pokemon, so. See if I could do this, if this works. No, I don't want to go to Amazon. You
I
stupid
can't
son.
wait to read Haikei. I don't know if I'm saying that right. The
Ooh,
Egyptian.
is that your next read?
I'm hoping so. Yeah, after like my first read in June, that'll be my first read in June for sure.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of June, we'll discuss it now. If you already, favorite part was her telling the River God story. Yeah, I thought that was really nice. And also, I don't know if you missed it, Princess. I found that really interesting because of her. I love the storytelling aspect of it and how stories were important to her. But one of my favorite things is also just doing a little bit of a research. The original story that this was based on was the story she told the river god, the sea god, about the daughter of the blind guy going into the ocean.
Where did you
Interesting.
find the original story that it was based off of?
I
Just out
just
of
exited.
curiosity.
I just
I think
exited out of
I
it.
think I logged on to the live right when you were saying that. I didn't get to see it.
Let me go to I just had it and then I exited out. It's a Korean folktale.
Okay, I want see like it makes me want to like do research into the actual folktale now because
And
I'm
I've
curious.
always here we go. It's called The Tale of Shimchong. I'm gonna pull up the Wikipedia page I have on it.
Okay.
I'll share it on screen because I love doing that about like or finding out what retellings are based on of.
Princess sent me the actual story that they based Kaikei off of. So I have that in the
Let
book.
me just share it instead of. I was gonna share the screen, but let me just share the link. So this is going to be it's Wikipedia, so take it as a grain of salt. Cut.
I feel like Wikipedia is not as bad as people make it out to be.
Yeah, but I'm also saying like
Yeah.
it's still Wikipedia. Like it's not
Right.
as terrible as a like source, but like it's still Wikipedia.
Yeah.
But this the link for it. It is called the Tale of Shim Chung, and I only did a little bit of research into it, like 5 minutes before the stream started.
Yeah.
But that it's cool to learn, and it's always good to learn about.
I love learning about like we know about like Roman and Greek gods, especially if you read like Percy Jackson and stuff as a kid.
I feel like Roman, Greek, Norse, and maybe
Norse.
even Egyptian mythology.
Mm-hmm.
Not
That's
that we
why I
don't.
like the idea of like Kakei because it focuses on a woman in Egyptian mythology, which they don't do
I
unless
love.
it's Cleopatra.
I love the like mythological story of Isis, the goddess.
I'm such a mythology nerd.
Me
Like,
too.
so,
I love mythology. I love all sorts, all types, especially magic.
I love that they're all getting out there now. Like
Yeah,
we wouldn't be able
especially
to find like I wouldn't have been able to find half of them when I was a kid unless I like asked a teacher.
yeah. I did like so that could also be talk about the like different kind of denizens of the spirit world.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting that we had not only spirits and gods, but like I thought it was really cool of how that was done.
Yeah, I agree completely.
But oh, what were you gonna say?
There we go. Now go ahead. A window just popped open, so I didn't want to like whatever it was to play. I was trying to stop it. I don't know why a window just popped open.
But we will. Let me share the screen real quick. Share screen for something else. Chrome tab to show off our next book, Enchanted Forest Book Club. It is The Bones of Ruin. I will read a description. Press search again and then just go to Goodreads. Sorry, you guys are seeing me do this. So it is an African tightrope walker who can't die, gets embroiled in a secret society's deadly gladiatorial tournament in this thrilling historical fantasy set in the alternate 1800 London.
It's
Perfect
called what's the title again?
Bones of Ruin by Sarah Ruggley. But yeah, Bones of Ruin.
I love that you're picking like all different like backgrounds and stuff. I love it.
No, the theme of my book club is BIPOC fantasy.
I love it because this was the first time I've been able to join. So like,
yeah, I mean, my book club Princess was a part of it. She would be in the lives, and she can always come again too for lives. And I did it a couple early 2020,
okay,
or late 2020, 21. Princess says we read Black Sun. We read.
I still haven't read that Black Sun yet. I still haven't read it.
That's really good. You'll like it. It's got gods.
Okay, I was debating on like the premise of it sounds amazing, but like I've heard so many lukewarm things about the second one that I'm like.
I've heard for the second one that I haven't read it. It's very much a second book, but it's like
right.
It's gonna leave you wanting to read the third one.
And I don't know how it ends, but I know that like it picks up right where the first book leaves off. That's all I know.
It better because it was really good.
The Bones of Ruin, right?
Bones of Ruin. And then the July one, just so you know, will be the Jasmine Throne.
Yes.
And then the only other book club I have set for sure is the September one will be the Sun Bear Trials by Aiden Thomas.
He came out with a new one?
It hasn't come out yet. It comes out in September.
Okay. I was going to say I missed that.
Yeah.
I have his other two books and I love him.
I do too. I had to I have to make sure we get an Aiden Thomas
book. I saw
book.
your picture. I was like, I'm so jealous.
And then he replied to me on Twitter, and I'm like, oh, I could die happy now.
I kind of met him. I was helping with an online event right when COVID hit, and I sort of met him through Zoom. But that's as far as it's gone.
When I was waiting in the line of Yalwist to get in the building or in the place where it was, he walked by the line, and I had to hold in a scream of the fan scream.
That's how I would. I don't know if you'll know the author, but that's how I would be with Stephen Graham Jones. I don't think I would be able to form a sentence if I ever had to talk to that man.
But thank you guys for coming. I think I'm gonna wrap it up now so that it's an hour. I think that's how the rest of the book clubs will be, an hour. Oh, Princess doing the God's work by putting it in chat.
Jasmine Throne. I'm so excited.
I'm really excited for both of these months. I've been wanting to read this forever.
And I love Tasha Suri, so
I haven't read any of her books, but I just know it's
she's amazing.
I know wasn't it the one of the queer trilogy, the queer lesbian trinity that came out last year or the year before?
Yes, it was that. It was
She Who Became
the Sun and The Unbroken were the three, I think.
I think, yeah, that's what everybody was dubbing the lesbian trinity.
Yeah.
Lesbian fantasy trinity.
I was kind of surprised because Jasmine Throne is thick. My grandmother read it in a day and a half. She actually took it from my bookshelves. I haven't even read it yet. She took it from my bookshelves and read it in a day.
I think that the August one is going to be a middle grade.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want the book club to be, is very much a celebration of all types of fantasy. I love fantasy, and I no hate to European or white fantasies.
No,
but
yeah,
that's gotten enough love. So I'm I want to celebrate other cultures.
That's why I love how these indigenous stories are coming out now.
Yeah,
I'm all in for that.
I haven't decided August's yet, Princess, but September's is the Sun Bear Trials.
The Sun, is it one word or is it hyphenated?
I think it's one word.
Okay.
Aiden Thomas's new book. August is probably going to be a middle grade, though. I just need to make that decision set in stone. But
if you want it specifically to be fantasy,
I think so. I'm just trying to. I don't want to do I'm trying to find a culture that I haven't hit yet, kind of.
Okay, I can message you some ones that I've read recently that I think might fit.
Of course, Princess. I had to get in his book. I'm gonna make everybody read it. I have to
I haven't read the Peter Pan Retelling yet. I have it, but I haven't read it yet.
Good. I didn't, because I'm not a huge Peter Pan fan. So I read it because it was his book.
Yeah.
And I did not think I was gonna like it as much as I did, and I really liked it. Trigger warnings for that book, though.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it because it is a plot twist, so I'll tell you after stream.
Okay.
But
you can message it to me. You can spoil it. I'll still read it. I have it.
Yeah. And I just don't want to say it on live.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
But
I took Princess's spot in your streams. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I had it open for anybody who wanted to come in because I don't like talking by myself.
I felt weird just clicking on it and be like, "Let me in."
Yeah. No, that's why I put it there. Anybody that wants to, and if you ever want to join me in my reading sprints,
absolutely.
Yeah, just let me know. But I'm gonna end this live right now. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, Princess, for being in the comments. I will have the date set by the beginning week of June. I'll have the date for the next book club meeting set. I just gotta look at work schedules. But thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having me.